Okay, so I've gotten a couple of requests to show how I installed this FPV tilting camera mount on the Runner 250. It's pretty simple actually. Um, all you have to do is just to get a little more tilt out of your camera, you loosen the camera bolts up on each side. I don't know if you can see it here. Just a little bit, not too much, so that you don't want the camera to fall out completely. You can put a little thread lock on there so they won't completely come loose once you get it set. And what I did was I actually turned this bracket that holds the camera. I actually unscrewed it and turned this whole camera mount around, because what would originally happen was the camera wouldn't go too far before it hit the carbon fiber back here. So what I did was I turned the mount around, which puts the pivots more forward, and that's how I'm getting so much angle out of it. Okay. And what I also did was, I don't know if you can see it in here, I extended my wire, my cable, the video cable. I added another cable to it. That way when it turned, it wouldn't tug. So it's pretty much double the wiring in there, which gives me a pretty good full tilt without it pulling on the wire, and we all know how these things break. So this one's actually broken if you look. I just have it directly in there. I mean, this thing's been taking quite a bit of abuse lately because with this 3D printed board, it kind of helps out with the rigidity, so I don't destroy the power board anymore, well, as much or as fast. But even the 3D printed board breaks when you go straight into a tree, so it happens. Well, it's pretty easy to get the servo to work. You don't have to do anything crazy. You just plug it in. Let me see if I can get the light. Okay. Plug it in right there. It's going to be hard to see it, but you're going to see the one that says elevator, which I believe is the first one way up there, all the way towards the front of the helicopter. A little dark, but yeah, the first one. And as soon as you do that, it'll start to turn once the helicopter's powered on, and you start leaning forward and backwards with the elevator stick on the controller. It'll start moving, and then you figure out where to mount it. I actually mounted mine here, facing down through the bottom of the helicopter, through the quad, with a small paper clip linkage attached to a sticky on the back of the camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Actually, what I'll do is I'll get this thing plugged in and show you it turning with just plugging it in. And pause it. Okay, so now that I've got the servo plugged in, my controller on, battery on, as you can see it's plugged into, let's see if I get this out of the way, that first port there where it says elevator on the board, and you want your ground. If you look, there's a marking on the board, shows where the ground is, GND right there. So the ground's gonna be on that side. And once you plug it in, if you watch, all I have to do is, there it goes, it's moving. There's really no settings you have to change in the controller, in the transmitter, nothing you have to do. just plug it in. That's it. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this mounted inside. It's going to be sticking out like that, and it's going to tilt my camera. Okay, so here we have the camera mounted. The quad is upside down, by the way. The servo is mounted with a little linkage. You can see that there. It's nothing. Just takes a little time to get it to the right angle, so where it doesn't bind anything when it's turning. If you look, let's see, let's take this off. All I did was cut a nice little slot so that I can force it, kind of wedge it in into that little hole there on the 3D printed board. And I haven't actually officially mounted the servo because I kind of want it to jar loose in a really bad crash where the camera would get knocked. That way it's nothing, it's not going to snap the servo. It's really only like a $7 or $8 servo. It's nothing too crazy, but it's not going to hold up into a huge impact. It may take a little while, a couple of little fiddling with to get it to the right angle where you want it. The servo horn and the see, like right there, that would be aiming up. This is horribly focused. So you can adjust it. You can adjust the length of the linkage to get it to where you want it. Kind of just temporarily mounting it. There you go. That kind of looks level there. If you look, it's just stuck to the back of the camera. Let's go ahead and flip it over. I just think it's out of focus. Okay. You'll see. Down. It definitely helps out, especially when you're new to FPV and you're getting a little low to the ground and you're leaning and you can't see what's ahead. It'll definitely help out, give you an idea of what's going on. Well, thanks for watching. It's my first video. Don't judge me. Hope it helps.